Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 28th of February. The markets have been moving throughout the evening. There's a large part of that is the New Zealand dollar. It's a sell on the news is certainly a key thing here. Well, the news was a lot less aggressive than had previously been expected. Originally, quite a few weeks ago, we'd seen comments of them actually increasing interest rates. Then it changed back to leaving as, which they have. However, they've also come in with this sort of more dovish sort of talk in terms of inflation. So some of the price expectations have fallen, as they're saying in the notes here. It's probably caught a lot of people out, and certainly the New Zealand dollar's moved a long way, but it's not the main driver in the markets there. The US dollar was gaining strength anyway. Sorry, I'm taking that away, and I haven't talked about today's news to watch out for then. There isn't massive amount of news today. We've had the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. We've got G20 meetings, which G20 meetings, they don't really move some markets so much, but we have got a lot of Fed speakers later. I'm saying that, and there we go. Don't forget the PCE data later. Now that's just checking I've got the right one there. It's a prelim GDP we've got there. It's not the... Just looking at the right ones. No, so tomorrow is the core PCE. This is the prices, the pre... Okay. It's a different PCE. It's a different one. There you go. There's the proper one. Is tomorrow. I thought that was a day early somewhere. It's here on this. There we go. And that's the key data tomorrow. So not massive, but plenty of speakers. That leaves the market quite open to volatility either way. Anyway, let's look at what's going on with these markets at the moment. Euro dollar, for example. Yes, they couldn't hold on to any gains. It was looking okay at one stage. It's rolling over now. It's actually broken below its weekly pivot there. It's broken its trend that was sort of sitting there. Hasn't actually put a lower high on this time frame. Let's just look. Yeah, it has on the hourlies there, and it's broken, looking soft. The only thing with this, traders can just want to try and jump in this, thinking it's going to run and run. We could see the usual old change direction come the morning session here. We'll see what happens, but yeah. It's already down almost to its S2. For me, it hasn't got a lot of selling potential in terms of statistical sort of numbers. That doesn't mean it won't sell. It's quite close to some previous support levels running over here. In fact, if you look at the bodies, it's probably on some of those bodies there. So it's just finding some support there at this stage, and it's not far away from its 4-hourly 50. It's into its monthly pivot. I'm not suggesting it won't continue in the next day or so to roll off like it started here, but all things can change quite sharply in the mornings here. The pound is similar sell-off here, but more solid yesterday. Looked like it was going to push on further, but not really doing too much on that time frame. But the 4-hourlies, it was quite ugly. And I said it was looking to push off earlier. We did see on the lower time frames a break of this sort of trend line, etc., that was running through here, but just never held on to it. We'd had a fake out at the bottom there previously. Well, it's pulled back in and then properly gone. Never the best of signals for me, this one. This penalty sort of pattern, and it's just proving its case. In fact, it did actually go back to the upside, then break the next time, which is probably a bit more of an opportunity. However, at silly o'clock, when we've been fast asleep, most likely. Okay, so nothing there either. Yen, well, this is a potential go with to the upside at some stage, but it has gone really quite messy here on the 4 hourlies. It's again, it's moved quite a way overnight there. Perhaps not as far as some might have expected. It has got a lot of resistance around these, or potential resistance around these highs, but at some stage we'll probably get the breakout. The consolidation is near the high, so it's more likely to go to the upside there. It's there to be done. Aussie dollar is gone with the New Zealand dollar as expected. It's just sort of sold off quite strongly there. Same sort of time. It sort of had the sort of movement where around about 1 o'clock it sort of came in and then it's ran off with it, putting in a really clear lower high there. Again, it may be a bit exhausted in terms of, or oversold, more of a technical term, in the short term, but with the price action that's sort of leading into this, I wouldn't want to be a buyer right at this stage, to think it's going to bounce the other way, because it is actually looking, as I say, it's got lower highs in there. It's only moving in the direction of maybe the bigger move. US dollar CAD. Now the CAD is softening as well here. High lows coming through, and yeah, looking pretty soft. But again, it's done quite a lot already. So we've just got to be careful how much it pulls back, and it might be a retrace that gives an opportunity on the long on the CAD maybe. New Zealand dollar we've already seen, well, talked about it, not seen it, but you can see sharp old sell-off there. It's a shame, it was looking quite nice, but it has, I mean, technically as well, it sort of ended up running to the underside of its yearly pivot there, and well, I quite like it when it does what it's done. It effectively it's consolidated. Yesterday it looked at one stage that it might have broken to the upside, had a little alert trigger on it, but I was never going to be buying it on the pre-news, and well, it's sold off for now, and it's sold off in such a way. Well, perhaps again we might just see it coming back, but do I want to be a buyer? Not really. There is the risk it could get sold again soon after. Now, some of the cross pairs, is one I was looking at yesterday was Euro CAD. It's sort of it's triggered a bit of a signal. I'm long on this now personally. I've taken a swing long on this, looking for a bigger move. We'll see how it develops, but it's barely done anything too much. What time was that? Yesterday afternoon, wasn't it? So it's not really doing. It's consolidated. It's sitting on its quarterly pivot. Maybe we'll see get a bit more of a move from it if we get a decent move on the euro. I can just see them all just moving around a little bit, but I don't really want to be a buyer on when these markets have really been selling anyway. Okay, I'll go through some more in my room later on these. If you want to join me, there's a link. About 8:30 I'll be going through the rest of those cross pairs, etc. Looking further afield, I say further afield, but looking at gold. Well, gold's not really done too much, hasn't. Just coming down to the hourlies here, had a little nothing. What's happened here? 7 o'clock. Oh, beg your pardon. There it is. At 1 o'clock, actually benefited from the New Zealand move there. Gold was actually bought whilst everything else was being sold there. Okay, the oil price now. Heard that the stocks had been built up here. I didn't know if it was a late date data, but the US stocks are being built up again, which is, well, we might just see a curving top here. This looking like it's now struggling to get any further. I'm looking at this quarterly pivot that's down there. I wonder if we'll get another sort of move towards that. But for me, it's best traded later in the day. At the moment, it's still above its daily pivot. Yesterday, you saw not yesterday, was it at all? Yesterday morning, that it sold off quite sharply. That was probably on the news yesterday. Anyway, just looking at where some of this news is actually coming through. Maybe we'll get something similar again, but I'll be waiting till later, but actually, yeah, come 2 o'clock it had been pushing the other way again, back upwards. We'll see what happens, but it is looking a bit more on the bearish side, but it's not for me at this time of the morning. S&Ps drifting along a little bit. I mean, they're consolidating, barely any volatility in the markets there relative to what we've been seeing. It's just slowed up quite a bit there. He's got a bit of a flaggy pattern going in, lower highs coming into that flag. Talking about the pivot, the weekly pivot would be quite a nice place if it comes back to that with the previous highs, etc. Maybe it'll drift back to that and find some support. The DAX pushing up here. What's going on there? If I just managed to, I just managed to move this. Don't know how I did that. There we go. Anyway, managed to somehow drag it. Anyway, pushing up solidly yesterday, coming off a little bit at the moment. DAX had a bit of reasonable time through yesterday. Again, daily pivot here, which might provide a bit of near-term support if it gets back there. Got a good probability of being hit anyway. FTSE's off a bit again this morning, really struggling to keep hold of any real gains here, the FTSE. Yeah, quite a mess there. I'm looking at these charts and thinking, ugh. If anything, if I was looking for a selling market, it might have been the FTSE, although it's already hit the S1 and S2. It's already ranged further than it did yesterday. Right, on that lovely cheerful news, I'm going to wish you a great day. And I will catch you in the morrow, unless you join me later about 8:30 into my room. Links below, as I said, on YouTube. Take care, guys. Bye for now.